My name is Liam Carter. I'm 33 years old. I was born and raised in New York City, New York. My parents were professional teachers, but simple, honest people who believed in hard work and kindness. I didn't come from money, but I came from love. Now, I live in Austin, Texas. I'm the CEO of one of the fastest growing tech startups in the country. Media calls me a visionary. Investors call me a golden boy. But none of that means anything when you come home to silence every night. In the eyes of the world, my life looks completely luxurious and perfect. But in reality, I'm like a blank page in a book. No color, no love. I had started drinking my evening coffee alone. Every night, the same seat by the hotel window. I was in New York for a 3-week investor round. I didn't expect anything to happen, but life had other plans. It was cold that night. It was drizzling softly, like a gentle spray of rain. It was nighttime, and I had stepped out of the hotel for a walk in that gentle spray of rain, when my eyes landed on a pair of shining eyes. Far off, near the edge of the road, a girl was standing by the side. She stood under a flickering street lamp, soaked halfway through, holding a worn-out umbrella with one broken arm. Her eyes met mine briefly, green. Her eyes looked tired, but there was still a spark in them. I walked up and stood near her, and my presence seemed to make her even more exhausted. She didn't ask for anything. She didn't even smile. She just looked at my eyes, and something in her gaze made the noise in my head go quiet. Since it was getting really late, I asked her, "Do you need any help?" She quietly shook her head and didn't say a word. I went silent too. Just then, my phone rang. I stepped aside to take the call. I was on the phone for maybe a minute, but when I turned around, she was gone. Even though she wasn't there anymore, it still felt like she was standing right beside me. When I met for the first time, it was a little romantic, a bit suspicious, like strangers, accidentally. I got busy with work, but I still couldn't forget about that girl. Thoughts of her kept coming back to me over and over again. A few days later, I went to a hotel. I was standing at the reception, waiting to get my key, when my eyes caught that same pair of shining eyes, and just like that, I saw her again. This time, I knew I couldn't just let her walk away without talking to her, so the moment I saw her, I walked straight up to her. She looked surprised to see me. Before she could say anything, I asked, "Can I talk to you for a moment?" She immediately said no, but I gently held her hand and led her aside. I said, "I just want to have a quick conversation with you." She looked a little annoyed and said, "Sorry, I'm busy right now. I have something important to do." I replied, "Then maybe we can talk when you're free." I quickly handed her my card. Maybe she really had something urgent, because without even looking at it, she slipped it into her purse and walked away. I just stood there watching her walk away, and I couldn't understand why I felt so drawn to her. It was nighttime, and I was standing outside the hotel when she showed up. She said, "Hi." Just seeing her brought a smile to my face. She told me her name was Isabella. We had a nice conversation after that. She was really shy. After that, we started meeting every day. The deep pain, emotional wounds, and the invisible chains we carry. We started running into each other more, first at a food cart, then at the 24-hour coffee shop down the street. She was 27, reserved, but sharp. She never told me what she did, and honestly, I didn't care. She laughed like she hadn't in a while, and I listened like I hadn't in years. We never talked about work, or money, or where we lived. We just talked, and for those brief conversations, I felt something real for the first time in years. But some nights, Her eyes changed, like she had just seen something no one else could understand. One night I offered to walk her home. She declined, said she lived nearby. Then, 2 nights later, I saw her, in a tight dress, heavy makeup, standing on the same sidewalk. Was she waiting for someone? Or was it something else? And suddenly, everything changed. There was a man standing next to her. He looked at me, but didn't say anything. She saw me too, but quickly turned her eyes away. Just then a big car pulled up. Without saying a word, she quietly got into it. The man stayed behind, casually smiling and chatting with another guy nearby. A few moments later, the car drove away. That's when it hit me, what she really did for a living. The thought froze me completely, like I couldn't move or breathe for a moment. But I didn't want to believe what I was thinking. Not until she told me the truth herself, in her own words. I couldn't stop thinking about her. The next morning I waited at the cafe. She showed up, pretending like nothing happened. So I asked quietly, "Why?" She stirred her coffee and said without looking at me, "What you're thinking. It's true, I'm a sex worker." I didn't plan this life, Liam. I just ran out of choices. And she walked away. The collapse, the revelation. When the world shifts under your feet. The next time I saw her, she had a bruise under her eye. She said she fell. I knew she was lying. That night I couldn't sleep. I hated how powerless I felt, and guilty, because I had everything, and she had nothing. I tried calling her, messaging her. Days passed. No reply. Then I got a message from a number I didn't recognize. "She's at Mercy Hospital, 3rd floor, room 308. I dropped everything and went. She was unconscious, wires everywhere. Her skin looked pale, her lips dry. Her body looked like it had given up, but her spirit hadn't. A nurse told me she overdosed on sleeping pills. They weren't sure if it was on purpose or accident. I knew it wasn't an accident. Beside her was a journal, not a phone, not a purse, just a thin blue journal. Inside were letters, not written to anyone, just outpourings. They promised me modeling. They gave me nothing. One man locked me in for 2 nights. I never spoke about it. My past is louder than my future. I just wanted to be free. I sat beside her all night. For once, I didn't think like a CEO. I thought like a human. I realized I couldn't walk away from her. The emotional explosion, truths, pain, a chance to choose. She woke up the next morning. She looked at me and whispered, "Why are you here?" "I didn't know where else to be," I replied. She looked at the ceiling. Then, her voice cracked. "When I was 15, my mom died of an overdose. I was placed with an uncle who made me sleep in the basement. He said if I told anyone, he'd kill my little sister. I ran away at 17. I came to New York with $200 and a fake name." She wiped a tear and continued, "I never wanted this life. I just didn't have the tools to live another one." She paused, then looked straight at me. "If you're here to rescue me, don't. I don't need pity. I need space to feel human again." That moment shattered me. Because she wasn't broken, she had been broken by others. I didn't walk away. I stayed with her. Over the next 6 months, I helped her get therapy, an attorney to clear her background, and real housing through a women's shelter program. But more importantly, I gave her my time. She got a job as a front desk assistant at my company. She wanted to earn her place. I let her. No one knew her past. They just saw a quiet, competent young woman with eyes that had seen too much, but never stopped looking forward. One day she walked into my office and said, "You didn't save me, but you reminded me I was worth saving. That line? I'll never forget it. We're not together. Not yet. Maybe not ever. That part doesn't matter. What matters is, she's free. She chooses her days now. And for the first time in my life, I learned what true strength looks like. Sometimes, we meet people who remind us that behind every silence, there's a scream. Behind every smile, there's a scar. And behind every broken past, there can still be a future. Maya didn't need saving. She needed someone who stayed. So guys, what you think about this story? Did you like this story? If yes, then don't forget to sharing your valuable opinion in comment box. And most important point, what you learned today, new word or phrase, please drop in comment box. I am happy to see this.